You stand at the edge of a cliff. Beneath you, the world is in turmoil, people screaming, drowning in their emotions, consumed by chaos. Above you, only stillness and cold air. You face a choice: stay below, tangled in their panic, or climb higher, where survival belongs to those who think instead of feel. Most never reach that height. They fall apart the moment life strikes hard. They cry, rage, and allow their emotions to take control while reason sits helpless in the back seat. That's when the world swallows them whole. Niccolò Machiavelli saw this play out through history, rulers collapsing, empires falling, not from war but from weakness. They were destroyed not by swords, but by their inability to control their feelings. They cared too deeply, thought too little, and emotion struck them down long before their enemies did. So Machiavelli wrote his code: stay cold, stay sharp. While others panic, you breathe. While others burn, you freeze. Because the one who keeps their composure the longest always wins. This isn't about being heartless, it's about being unshakable. It's about walking through fire without flinching. Holding a sword with calm hands while smiling, because you know what others don't: emotions are weapons. If you don't control yours, someone else will use them to destroy you. Today, you'll learn 7 ruthless lessons Machiavelli understood that most people never will. These aren't motivational quotes, they are survival tactics. The lines between leaders and followers, between those who stand tall and those who kneel. The world doesn't care about your exhaustion or your pain. It won't slow down for your feelings. It will test you, push you, and if you break, it moves on without looking back. So ask yourself, will you remain soft and let the world shape you, or will you become like stone, cold, still, unbreakable? If you're ready to stop being ruled by emotion and start mastering it, keep watching. What comes next will change how you view power, control, and yourself. Drop this in the comments: I am unbreakable stone. Let's begin. 1. Keep your mind cold, see truth clearly. Your greatest enemy isn't the world, your rivals, or your critics. It's the storm inside your own mind, the fog that appears when emotion takes the wheel. Most people wander through life blind, not because they can't see, but because they refuse to. They see what feels safe, what matches their fears or their hopes. And that's how they lose. A heated mind is a blurred mind. When you're angry, you overlook what's important. When you're afraid, you imagine threats that don't exist. When you're too hopeful, you miss the danger right in front of you. The higher your emotional temperature, the lower your clarity. Machiavelli understood a cruel truth: reality doesn't care about your comfort. It simply exists. Only a cold mind can see it for what it truly is. While everyone else argues about what they think is happening, you'll be the one actually watching what is happening. Think back. How many times have you made bad choices because you were emotional? How many things have you said that you wish you could take back? How many opportunities have you lost because you were too blinded by feeling? We've been told passion equals power, that deep feeling means real living. But no one warns you that passion without control is chaos dressed as purpose. A cold mind doesn't mean you stop feeling. It means your emotions no longer distort the truth. You still feel anger, but it doesn't guide your actions. You still feel pain, but it doesn't control your path. You acknowledge emotion, then step back and ask one question: what is actually true here? That's where most people fail. They mistake their emotional reaction for reality. Someone insults them, and they instantly see an enemy. Someone praises them, and they instantly see a friend. Neither is true. Both are just emotional readings from a hot mind. A cold mind doesn't chase feelings, it studies patterns, not moments, actions, not words, results, not intentions. It doesn't ask, how do I feel about this? It asks, what does this mean? Machiavelli once said, the wise man does at once what the fool does finally. The difference between the two? Temperature. The wise act from clarity because their minds stay cool. The fool only sees clearly once the heat fades, after the damage is already done. If you want power, begin here. Cool your reactions. Let your mind become still, like a frozen lake, sharp, clear, reflective of truth, not distorted by emotion. Because when your mind is cold, you see everything. And when you see everything, no one, not even you, can lie to yourself. Drop this in the comments, my mind stays cold. 2. Do not act from emotion, act with intention. This is where most people destroy themselves. They move while they're angry. They speak when they're hurt. They make decisions when their emotions are loudest, and then wonder why their lives keep falling apart. Action without intention is just noise. It's movement without purpose, like swinging wildly in the dark, hoping something connects. Meanwhile, the calm one, the thinker, stands behind you, waiting for you to burn out. Emotion makes you predictable. When you act from rage, people know what you'll do. When you act from fear, they know where you'll run. When you act from desperation, they can lead you anywhere they want. You're not dangerous, you're transparent. Intention is different. Intention means every move you make has a reason behind it. You've weighed the cost. You've calculated the outcome. You're not reacting to what just happened, you're creating what happens next. That's the difference between survival and dominance. Every action must have a purpose, not impulse, not emotion, but purpose. Before you move, ask, what am I actually trying to achieve? Not how do I feel right now, but what outcome do I want? Those two questions separate power from weakness. Think about the last time someone provoked you, insulted you, disrespected you, tried to make you small. Did you snap back immediately? Did you rush to defend yourself? If you did, you lost, because that was exactly what they wanted. They got your reaction, and with it, they got control. But if you stayed quiet, if you smiled, if you walked away while they expected you to explode, then you won. Because your actions came from choice, not emotion. You chose your response, they didn't choose it for you. Intentional action demands patience. It requires sitting with discomfort. It's feeling the fire rise inside and refusing to move until your mind, not your emotion, gives the order. You decide what serves you, not what satisfies your pride. This is how you become unpredictable. This is how you stay steps ahead. While everyone else acts out their last emotion, you act on your next goal. Machiavelli once wrote, never attempt to win by force what can be won by strategy. Why? Because force is emotional. It's loud, impulsive, and obvious. But strategy is quiet. It hides in plain sight, executes cleanly, and leaves your opponent wondering what just happened. Stop letting your emotions write your story. They are terrible authors. They create chaos without direction, conflict without meaning, pain without growth. You don't need that. You need precision, control over your timing, your words, your movements. From this moment forward, before you act, ask yourself, is this emotion or intention? Am I moving because I feel something or because I want something? One makes you a puppet. The other makes you a player. Choose wisely. The world rewards intention and punishes emotion. Drop this in the comments. I act with purpose. 3. Never react first. Hold your power. The first one to react is always the first one to lose. Etch that into your mind. In any argument, negotiation, or moment of conflict, whoever breaks silence first gives away their position. Reaction is surrender. It's revealing your hand before the other side even plays theirs. The instant you react, you hand over your power and the map to your weaknesses. They see where to press, what hurts, what triggers you. From that moment on, you are no longer in control. Power isn't loud. Power doesn't rush. Power waits. It watches. It stays still while everyone else scrambles. Because the one who can afford to wait is the one who doesn't need anything from you. And that terrifies people. When someone attacks you, whether it's with words, manipulation, or disrespect, their goal isn't truth. Their goal is reaction. They want to see you defend yourself, to explain, to prove something. They want to see you flinch. And the moment you do, they win. Not because they were right, but because they controlled your behavior. So what should you do instead? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Let their words hit you like rain on stone, sliding off, leaving no mark. Let their aggression echo into silence. Give them stillness where they expected fire. That silence will shake them more than shouting ever could. Silence is dominance. It forces the other person to fill the void. They start to doubt themselves, question their own confidence. They wonder why their attack didn't land. And while they spiral, you stay calm, watching, learning who they truly are beneath the noise. This doesn't mean you never respond. It means you respond on your terms, not theirs. Not in their timing. Not with their energy. You wait, observe, and when the moment is right, you strike, precisely, deliberately, without warning. Reacting first means playing their game. Responding later means making them play yours. One is weakness disguised as strength. The other is patience disguised as power. Machiavelli once said, "The lion cannot protect himself from traps, and the fox cannot defend himself from wolves." One must therefore be a fox to recognize traps and a lion to frighten wolves. The fox waits. It studies. It watches the trap being set and never moves until it understands every thread of the snare. Then it decides whether to avoid it or turn it against the trapper. Be the fox. Be the lion. Be both. People will test you, push you, provoke you, try to drag you into their chaos. Let them. Let them waste their energy. Let them believe they're getting under your skin. While they react, you remain still, calculating, collecting leverage, building advantage. The world belongs to those who can sit still while everything burns around them. Not because they're numb, but because they understand that panic kills faster than pressure ever could. Whoever panics first, loses first. Whoever shows emotion first, bleeds first. Whoever breaks composure first, loses everything. Hold your power. Don't spend it on meaningless reactions. Save it for the strike that actually matters. Drop this in the comments. I hold my power. 4. Control your tone. Control your heartbeat. Your voice reveals more than your words. Your breath exposes more than your thoughts. Your hands tremble, your tone cracks, your pulse races, and whether you realize it or not, the world is watching. You think it's the words that matter most, but it's how you deliver them. A threat spoken with a shaking voice is comedy. A soft sentence, delivered calmly, can feel like a warning. People don't just hear what you say, they read you. And if your body tells one story while your mouth tells another, they'll believe your body every time. Tone is power. It's the difference between commanding respect and begging for it. It decides whether people listen or dismiss you. The same sentence, spoken with composure, can build authority or destroy it. When your tone rises, you've lost control. When your voice cracks, you've shown doubt. When you rush your words, you reveal panic. Every shift in tone, every uneven breath, it's a message, and sharp minds read those signals instantly. So, what do? You flatten the chaos. You slow your rhythm. You speak with intention, not robotic, not fake, but steady, measured, like someone who has seen storms before and never flinched. You speak as if nothing can shake what's inside you. But tone is only half the battle. Beneath it lies the true enemy, your heartbeat. When your pulse races, your breath shortens. When your breath shortens, your thoughts scatter. You stop planning and start surviving. You switch from control to chaos without even noticing. You must learn to slow your pulse, not just physically, but mentally. When tension rises, when the room gets heavy, when everyone expects you to break, that's when you breathe deeper. Longer. Slower. You convince your body there's no danger. And when the body believes, the mind follows. Then the room shifts, suddenly, you control the moment. Because calmness and pressure isn't a gift, it's a weapon. This is self-command at the biological level. It's reprogramming your instincts so they serve you, not sabotage you. Every time your body wants to panic, you choose the opposite, slow it down, lower your tone, regain control. Soon, you'll move at a different speed than everyone else. While they rush, you glide. While they gasp, you breathe. While they tremble, you remain still. Machiavelli once said, "Men judge more by the eye than by the hand, for all can see, but few can feel." In other words, people believe what they see, not what you mean. They watch your posture. They study your expression. They decide your strength before you've even spoken a word. So, control what they see. Control the signals your body sends. Control the narrative your presence writes. When you master your tone, you master perception. When you master your heartbeat, you master pressure. People will throw chaos at you, expecting you to catch it. But you won't. You'll let it fall. You'll stand calm and silent while they breathe heavy and wonder, how are you so steady? The answer is simple. You decided that your body no longer gets to choose how you react. You do. Drop this in the comments. I control my signal. 5. Endure pain, never panic. Pain is unavoidable. Panic is optional. And that choice determines whether you rise from hardship or get crushed beneath it. Everyone bleeds. Everyone stumbles. Everyone faces the moment when the ground gives way and the fall feels endless. The difference between the ones who get back up and the ones who never do has nothing to do with luck. It's how they respond when the pain hits. Most people panic the moment discomfort appears. They thrash, they rush, they make desperate moves trying to escape the situation. And every desperate move digs the hole deeper. Because panic doesn't solve problems, it multiplies them. It turns your mind into smoke, your strategy into chaos, your strength into fear. While you flail, your enemies simply watch, waiting for you to self-destruct. Endurance is different. Endurance says, yes, this hurts, but I'm staying anyway. It doesn't pretend the pain isn't real. It simply refuses to let that pain decide your actions. You feel it, acknowledge it, and move forward through it. That's real strength. Not the absence of pain, but the mastery of it. Life will hit you hard. It will break things you love, burn what you built, and leave you questioning your limits. And if you panic every time it does, you'll spend your whole life running from ghosts. But when you endure, when you stand there in the fire and don't scream, something shifts. You stop fearing pain. You stop reacting to it. You start realizing that suffering burns out if you don't feed it panic. That's when you become something rare, someone who doesn't collapse under pressure but hardens because of it. Machiavelli once wrote, "Where the willingness is great, the difficulties cannot be great." He meant that the strength of your will defines the size of your obstacles. When you've already decided that you'll endure, pain becomes scenery, unpleasant, yes, but powerless to stop you. People will try to break you, with rejection, humiliation, betrayal, failure. They'll turn up the pressure and wait for the cracks to show. They expect fear, they expect emotion, they expect you to fall apart. But when you don't, when you absorb the pain and keep going, they start to fear you. Because you're no longer operating under normal limits. You've stepped into a higher state, where pain is nothing but data. Athletes train there. Soldiers live there. Leaders stay there. They understand that pain is just feedback, not a full stop, just a signal saying, you're still alive. So when life hits you, and it will, don't thrash. Don't run. Don't spiral. Just breathe. Feel what's happening. And then ask yourself one question, can I take one more step? The answer is always yes. Take that one step, then another. And before you realize it, the storm that tried to bury you is behind you. That's endurance. That's strength. That's how you win without ever needing to panic. Drop this in the comments. Pain cannot stop me. 6. Stay calm while others burn. Chaos is opportunity, but only for the ones who don't drown in it. Watch what happens when pressure rises. Deadlines close in, uncertainty grows, and the room starts to shake. Most people collapse before the fight even begins. They complain, they panic, they talk too much and think too little. They broadcast their stress to the world, and in that moment, they lose all their value. Because panic is contagious. But so is calm. While everyone else is burning, you stay still. You stay quiet. You stay composed. And suddenly, every head turns toward you, not because you shouted louder, but because you didn't. In chaos, silence becomes magnetic. That's how real leaders emerge, not through titles or noise, but through stability. Calmness under pressure is power in disguise. When everyone else is falling apart, the one who remains centered becomes the anchor everyone needs. People orbit around stability because they crave what they've lost, control. This doesn't mean you're emotionless. It means you've trained yourself not to mirror the panic around you. You see the storm. You feel the pressure. But you refuse to let it own your reactions. You become the eye of the storm, the single point of stillness while everything else spins. That stillness gives you an advantage. While they're blinded by emotion, you're analyzing. While they're shouting, you're thinking. While they're reacting, you're planning. And when the noise finally settles, you'll already be 10 steps ahead. Calmness isn't passivity, it's precision. It's not freezing, it's focusing. It's seeing clearly while everyone else is blinded by smoke. Machiavelli understood this centuries ago when he said, "In the midst of chaos, there is also opportunity." Because crisis reveals truth. It shows who's strong and who was pretending. It strips away masks. When pressure hits, the frogs crumble and the calm ones rise. So when the fire comes, and it always does, don't fight for control of others. Control yourself. Don't tell people you're calm. Prove it through your silence. Let your steadiness speak louder than any declaration. Let them come to you, because people always seek the one thing they can't find in themselves: peace. The world rewards those who can stand tall when everything's collapsing. Not because they're saints or superheroes, but because they're useful. They can think clearly. They can make decisions. They can carry the weight others drop. So when the world catches fire, don't add to the smoke. Let them scream. Let them panic. Let them crumble. You just breathe. Watch. Wait. Because when the flames die down, you'll still be standing, and they'll remember who didn't fall. Drop this in the comments: chaos cannot touch me. 7. Master your emotions before they master you. Here it is, the final truth, the foundation of everything. Your emotions are not your allies. They are instruments, powerful, dangerous, and unpredictable. If you don't learn to control them, they will control you. Most people live as slaves to their own feelings. They wake up in whatever mood chance delivers. A single insult ruins their day. A minor failure ruins their week. They are not living, they are being controlled. Their emotions are in the driver's seat, steering them toward regret, fear, and chaos. That is not freedom, that's imprisonment. And the walls of that prison are built from feelings left unchecked. Mastery doesn't mean killing your emotions, that's impossible. It means understanding them, using them, shaping them to serve you. Emotions are signals, not instructions. They warn, they alert, they inform, but they are not meant to command. You feel anger? Good. Now ask, will I burn with it or build with it? You feel fear? Fine. Will you let it paralyze you, or will you use it to sharpen your focus? That's mastery, the pause between feeling and acting. The breath between impulse and decision. That gap is everything. It's where power lives. It's where you stop reacting and start choosing. Without mastery, you're predictable. You're easy to read, easy to manipulate. Anyone who knows your triggers can control you. They can make you mad, make you scared, make you dance to their tune, and you won't even realize it. But once you master yourself, those same buttons stop working. They can press them all they want, nothing happens. You become untouchable. Because you've cut the wires connecting emotion to action. You decide when to feel, how to respond, when to strike, and no one else gets a vote. Machiavelli once wrote, "Whoever wishes to foresee the future must consult the past." So look at your past. Every major mistake you've made, every bad choice, every lost opportunity, trace it back. How many were born from emotion? How many times did anger speak for you? How many times did fear make your decision? The pattern is obvious. Emotion ruled you, and it cost you. Now think of the moments when you paused, when you thought before acting, when you stayed cold. Those were your victories. Those were your moments of control. That's when you were strongest, because clarity beats emotion every single time. The future you want won't be built from feelings. It will be built from discipline. From decisions made with calm precision, not emotional chaos. Emotions are terrible drivers. They speed at the wrong time, stop at the wrong time, and crash into everything. So take the wheel back. Master yourself, because that's the only thing you ever truly control. Every lesson you've learned here, keeping your mind cold, acting with intention, holding your power, controlling your tone, enduring pain, staying calm in chaos, they all begin and end with this one: control over you. Most people will never do this. They'll nod, they'll feel inspired for 5 minutes, and then they'll go right back to letting emotions steer their lives. But you're not most people. You've made it this far for a reason, because deep down, you already know what Machiavelli knew. Coldness isn't cruelty, it's clarity. Control isn't suppression, it's strategy. The world doesn't reward the loudest or the angriest. It rewards the calmest, the one who sees clearly when everyone else is blind. While others drown in emotion, you'll move in silence. While they react, you'll plan. While they panic, you'll endure. And in the end, you'll win. But knowledge means nothing without action. So take these 7 principles and apply them, not tomorrow, not when it's convenient, now. Because the world is already testing you, right this second. And how you respond defines everything. Before you go, if this message gave you strength, share it with someone who needs it. Remember, the world belongs to the cold, the steady, the unshakable. To those who refuse to break, no matter the storm. Be stone. Be ice. Be untouchable. Drop this final affirmation in the comments: I am cold as stone. Now go, and show them what you're made of.